guys, I'm your English teacher Kay with ISpeakSpokeSpoken.com, and today I'm going to show you how to form the plural in English. And don't forget, you can download these slides and take a quiz at the end to make sure that you've learned everything we're going to cover today. So we have regular plural formation. With English nouns, it follows a pretty straightforward rule where you simply have to add an S or an ES to change the noun from singular to plural form. For example, 1 table, 2 tables. 1 dog, 2 dogs. 1 car, 2 cars. And let's double check our pronunciation. Table. Stress the first syllable. Table. 1 table, 2 tables. Dog. Dogs. Car. Cars. We can also add ES to the ends of words that end in S, double S, SH, CH, X, or Z. And we do this so that we can maintain the original sound of the word in its plural form. Let's look at some examples. Bus, we add ES, becomes buses. Class, we add ES, becomes classes. Bush, we add ES, becomes bushes. Church, add ES, becomes churches. And box, we add ES, becomes boxes. Buzz, add ES, becomes buzzes. And let's check our pronunciation. Bus, buses. Class, classes. Bush, bushes. Church, churches. Box, boxes. Buzz, buzzes. Now let's look at some irregular nouns changing from singular to plural. So irregular plurals in English don't always follow the same standard rules, and they vary in their formation. For example, there is a vowel change when changing from singular to plural. For example, man becomes men in its plural form, and woman becomes women. And this one's tricky because even though the last vowel is changing in the word, the pronunciation changes the first vowel sound. 1 woman, 2 women. And foot becomes feet. Tooth becomes teeth. And let's go back and check our pronunciation. 1 man, 2 men. 1 woman, 2 women. 1 foot, 2 feet. And 1 tooth, 2 teeth. Let's try that one more time. Really put your tongue between your teeth for the TH sound. 1 tooth, 2 teeth. Very good. And some nouns don't change their form at all. So they remain the same in their singular form and in their plural form. For example, 1 sheep, 2 sheep. 1 deer, 2 deer. 1 species, 2 species. 1 aircraft, several aircraft. And then we have nouns with irregular endings. So these are words that end in F, FE, and they change to VES. For example, 1 life, 2 lives. 1 knife, 2 knives. 1 calf, 2 calves. 1 leaf, 2 leaves. 1 roof, 2 roofs. Now, let's check our pronunciation. Life has the long I sound. Life. 1 life. 2 lives. 1 knife. 2 knives. And this one, we don't say the L sound. 1 calf, 2 calves. 1 roof, 2 roofs. Don't forget, you can click here to download all these slides and take the quiz at the end. So let's look at some more examples. These are foreign plural forms because, as you know, in English, we tend to take words from other languages. For example, criterion, where we stress the second syllable, criterion, criterion. The plural becomes criteria. And phenomenon becomes phenomena. Cactus becomes cacti, and focus becomes foci. Notice that cacti and foci have the long I sound, not cacti, not foci, cacti, foci. And let's do our pronunciation once again. Criterion, criteria, phenomenon, phenomena, cactus, cacti, focus, foci. Good. Now let's look at some special cases, because not all changes from singular to plural follow the same rules, especially when it comes to compound nouns. So these nouns are pluralized by changing the principal word. For example, one brother-in-law becomes brothers-in-law. So here we're just pluralizing the principal word. Commander-in-chief becomes commanders-in-chief. And let's check our pronunciation. Make sure you really stick your tongue between your teeth to make the TH sound. Brother, brother. Brother-in-law becomes brothers-in-law. And commander-in-chief, one more time, commander, commander. Commander-in-chief becomes commanders-in-chief, commanders-in-chief. Good. And then we have nouns that end in O. Pluralizing nouns that end in O, sometimes we just add an ES and sometimes we just add an ES. But the trick to this is memorization. So here you can see that potato, we add ES becomes potatoes. Hero, we add ES becomes heroes. But auto, we simply add an S to make it autos. And piano, we simply add an S to make it pianos. And again, checking pronunciation. One potato, potato. Two potatoes, potatoes. One hero, hero. Two heroes, heroes. One auto, auto. Two autos, autos. One piano, piano. Two pianos, pianos. Good. Now let's look at making plurals from acronyms, letters, numbers, because we often add S or apostrophe S, and when we add apostrophe S, this is to help us in the readability. For example, one PhD, we simply add an S to make it plural, and we say this PhDs. 747, we add an S to make it plural, and we say 747s. MD, as a singular, we add apostrophe S, and this is to aid in the readability, and we say this MDs. So once again, one PhD, two PhDs. One 747, two 747s. One MD, two MDs. Good. And we have some more examples of exceptions to the rule when making singular into plural. So we have words with regular and irregular plurals because some English nouns can be correctly pluralized by adding an S, and they can sometimes be pluralized by adding VES. For example, scarf can be scarfs or scarves. Dwarf can become dwarfs or dwarves. And hoof can become hoofs or hooves. The pronunciation on the ending sound changes a bit, and you'll hear both forms said by native speakers, and it's important to know both of these because you will come across them. So let's practice pronunciation. Scarf, scarf. One scarf, two scarfs, or two scarves. One dwarf, two dwarfs, or two dwarves. One hoof, two hoofs, or two hooves. We also have changing word categories, and this is true for foreign words that we use in English. For example, we have appendix, which in the scientific sense, when we pluralize it, becomes appendices. But in the general sense, it becomes appendixes. This is also true for index, which in the plural form becomes indices, and this is true in the mathematical or the scientific context, or it can change into indexes, which is, again, more in the general sense. Looking back at pronunciation, appendix, we stress the second syllable. appendix, appendix, one appendix. And to pluralize this, we can say appendices or appendixes. And index, we stress the first syllable, index, index. One index, two indices, or two indexes. And we have a couple more unusual formations. For example, one child becomes children in the plural, adding REN. This is not a standard rule to pluralize that we apply to other words in English, but this is a very important pluralization rule to remember because you'll sound strange if you say two childs. And one ox becomes oxen, one mouse becomes mice, and this is true for mouse the animal and also a computer mouse. And let's check pronunciation. Child, child, children, children, ox, ox, oxen, oxen, mouse, mouse, mice, mice. Good. Don't forget, you can click here to download all of these slides and be sure to practice so when you take the quiz at the end, you can show that you've learned everything that we've covered today. Once again, my name's Kay with ISpeakSpokeSpoken.com. It's been great teaching you today, and I'll see you next time. Bye!